Hello my friends, how are you? I hope you're well. Today we are going to do a reading vlog for the month of February. I thought it sounded like fun to do a reading vlog for like a whole month. So today is the 4th of February and so far this month I finished Quicksilver, but I'd done most of the reading of that in January, so I just finished it on the 1st of February. And when I finished that, I started the audiobook of Project Hail Mary, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm only about 4 hours into it. I've mostly been listening to it while I play Planet Zoo and while I do some colouring. Really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I was going to. I've heard that the audiobook for Project Hail Mary is so good. Like, everyone recommends that audiobook. So I was excited to listen to it, but I am quite picky with audiobooks. I haven't read much science fiction. I listened to the Murderbot series and really enjoyed that. But those were quite short books. So the audiobook for Project Hail Mary is like 12 or 16, I think it's actually 16 hours long, it's quite long. But since it's recommended so much and since I enjoyed Murderbot, I said I'd give it a go. And it's kind of, Project Hail Mary is a bit more entertaining than I expected it to be. It's a bit funnier than I thought it would be. Like, I haven't read The Martian, but I've seen the film and he is funny. Like, there is an element of humor in it, mostly from the main character, which is the same in Project Hail Mary. He is funny. Just had to get myself an iced coffee. It is not warm or anything like that out. I just really felt like an iced coffee. It's actually quite cold out. It's been miserable for days. Rain. That's Ireland for you. So that's what I've been listening to. That's my audiobook at the moment. And on my Kindle then I am reading, I just started Caressed by Ice by Nalini Singh. I think that's how you say her name anyway. So this is a paranormal romance that released in, I think it was 2007 or 2008. And when I picked it out, I was like, okay, this is kind of an oldie, but it's not that old. And then it occurred to me that it is nearly 20 years old. So I think that counts as being an oldie at this stage. So I picked up this paranormal romance, this oldie paranormal romance, because I wanted to take part in Romanceopoly U, which is the new version of the reading challenge Romanceopoly, hosted by Under the Covers book blog. So for the last 6 years, I think, they have been doing Romanceopoly, which is just a board game reading challenge. It looks like Monopoly, but it's romance themed. So their blog is all about romance books. They had it themed like Monopoly, where it's like a street. They all have street names, and these were all romance inspired street names. But this year they decided to make it like a role-playing game. So you're going to Romanceopoly University, and all the different areas are like colleges within the university. And I'm not sure how college works in the US. It seems to be based on the US system, so like you pick a major and a minor, and I don't understand the way it works in America. I don't understand the way it works in any other country, and I barely understand how it works here in Ireland. There was just so much to it. Like, they've made this beautiful board and they have all these cards and everything to go with it, and then there's a Discord, and there is a really useful Notion template for tracking. So I got the Notion. I was already a member of the Discord because I was like thinking about joining. I just had my eye on it and I couldn't decide if I wanted to do it, because one of my goals for this year was to like have a lower reading goal. So my reading goal for the year is 24, and like in this challenge, if you to do everything, you end up reading 20 books if you do the like main part. But it just looked like so much fun, so I had to join it. So I got the Notion template, picked out my major and my minor and my elective classes. I joined one club and I have been looking at the sporting events, kind of doing it. A good thing about this challenge though is that you can use a book for multiple prompts, so that makes it a lot easier because it looks quite complex. It looks like there's a lot going on, but once you kind of figure it all out, you don't actually have to do that much. Really excited now to be taking part in it. So I picked out Caressed by Ice, a paranormal romance, because I decided to major in paranormal romance. I can't remember what the name of the college was in it, but that's what I major in, and I minor in the contemporary romance one, which I can't remember the name of either. And then my club is one of the contemporary romance one as well, and it's very likely that I will join one of the other clubs. It's just I didn't want to bite off more than I could chew at the moment because it's only February. There's a monthly read every month as well, actually. So it's not just that you pick everything out at the beginning. You can like plow through it in like 2 months. There is new things coming out each month and each season. And then there is a Discord so that I can bring in this community element to it. So it just makes it that more active, there's more participation in it, and then you can find out what other people are reading for ideas and stuff like that as well. And I love the Romanceopoly You template that they made. It's so pretty. It really makes me want to create another reading journal this year. I wasn't going to make a reading journal because I decided to make like this kind of one. It's a digital, or I made it in Photoshop and I printed it, and I really enjoyed making it. I loved making it. But now that I have it all made and it comes to like filling things in, I am not really feeling it. I'm so happy with how it looks. I actually love it. Like there's my book review pages that I made in Photoshop. Like I made my little reading goal and my tracking thing, and then I made a board game to go in it. This is my cover page for December. This is for winter, so it's December, January and February. I just love the cover pages so much. I hope they're coming up, are they? Hide my face. I really love it. I was so happy with it. But then when it comes to using it, because it's all designed and everything, and I loved designing it, I really enjoyed making this. I have space for like a book bracket and everything as well, to have like the my favorite book from winter. When it comes to actually using it, because it's just inputting data, I don't enjoy it as much. So what I'm thinking of doing, what I prefer to do for a reading journal, is to make it like a junk journal. So to have this big messy thing that I can like play with and just add whatever to. That's what I really enjoy. So I'm thinking of doing that again. I wasn't going to do it because last year's one, I did one for, I have a really big one that I used over the space of 2 years. I really enjoyed it, loved it, but it did turn into this like really big thing. I have a video all about it, you can have a look at it. But now that I'm doing this reading challenge, I really want to print it out, print out the board and all the cards and everything like that, and put them into a pretty reading journal. The one I did last year, or for the one from the last 2 years, is kind of very much has a junk journal aesthetic. So there's loads of, there's cat hair in there, there's loads of kind of vintage elements, and I don't even know how you describe it. I just love making a mess in my junk journal. So I have these pieces that I haven't done anything with. I just kind of made them up ages ago. I can't even remember when I put these journals together. They're just a few pages, and this would be the same size as the journal I used for the previous 2 years, but it's a lot smaller. So I might put these together with a cover, make a journal for 2026, or maybe will I try just use one? No, I would fill this really quickly. I don't know what to do. I can't decide if I want to do it, because I don't want to do too much tracking, because I use a spreadsheet on Google Sheets to do that. I made one of those that I really like, and it gives you all the stats and everything, and I can arrange to have all of my book covers together. So I like doing like inputting data there, and it gives me my reading stats, like my page counts and my most read genres and things like that. It's all in that spreadsheet. I do use Storygraph as well, but I'm not as like meticulous with my my tracking on there. I do really like Storygraph though. And there's another app called Pagebound, which I love. I think it's so pretty, and there's more of a social element on Pagebound. Storygraph is more for kind of for tracking, and I think page bound is great for a social element. There's also Fable, which has more focus on the social aspect as well. Like I think there's a big focus on Fable, and Romanceopoly actually has a Fable book club as well, but I left Fable. Didn't really enjoy it, but I think pagebound is great. I really enjoy pagebound. But anyway, the book Caressed by Ice by Nalini Singh, OG paranormal romance. Because it's that bit older and from when paranormal romance was popular, there are some elements to it that you don't really see in books anymore. I'm very early into it, but I am enjoying it. But I am reading it from a place of like, I read these books in my 20s before these style of books. I haven't read this one. This is the third book in this series, and I read the first one so long ago. It is nice to return to that world. It's kind of given me a bit of like nostalgia, even though I haven't read the book before, just for this type of writing. Although her writing style is kind of hard to follow. There's like sudden cuts, and the chapter headings like go in, it like breaks into the middle of a scene. So for now, I think I will listen to some more Project Hail Mary and have a think about what I'm going to do for the reading journal. Which thing I'll do. Will I print the Romanceopoly and put it in this? Will I make another reading journal altogether? I have a ton of paper. I can't decide what I want to do, but I know I want to listen to more Project Hail Mary.
Hi buddies. I literally just fed you. You think you should get fed again? Oh, you do? You do? You think you should get fed again?
So since I last checked in, I have finished Caressed by Ice by Nalini Singh, which I actually can't even remember if I mentioned that I was reading that. I think I mentioned that I was starting the Romanceopoly U reading challenge just because it just looks so fun. There's so much. I'm actually blown away by how much stuff they've put into this reading challenge this year. Real immersive, and I love that they have a Discord. I really enjoy the Discord. Getting to chat with people about books, and they have a few other like topics to discuss, so it's a fun place. I picked up Caressed by Ice for the winter event in Romanceopoly U, and I enjoyed Caressed by Ice, so that's fine. But I did read for each month. There's like a study session, so it's they pick a book to read for the month, or that you can read like a prompt. So it was, because it's February, it was a Valentine's book, or I can't remember what the book they picked was. I think it was something to do with sports, I don't know. So I read a Valentine's short story, Valentine's Sleigh by Nevessa Allen. She has a popular dark romance series. I think it's called Lights Out. Haven't read it. Haven't read much dark romance at all. I read Tourist Season. I can't remember the name of the author, but I read Tourist Season for another book club actually last year for Goobers Who Read. And if it wasn't a Valentine's prompt, I would not read a Valentine's themed book. So that's why I went for a short story. I read that. Didn't really like it. It was fine. If it was a novel, I would have DNF'd it, but because it is a short story, I decided to just finish it. Like, I don't know what her regular series is like, her full novels. Maybe short stories aren't a strong suit for her, or maybe it just wasn't for me. But I didn't like the way the story was told. It was like trying to do too much with too little. Story set on Valentine's Day about kind of a revenge story. It would be kind of like, I think, like an action movie or something like that, or a thriller kind of a thing. It was very rushed. What would be like a mystery or a tense plot point was like revealed very, very early in the story. So like we got to that very quickly, and then reading the rest of it was kind of like just going through the motions to get to the end. So I didn't enjoy that story. The only reason I read it was because of Romanceopoly U. And this is why I have a shorter reading goal for this year, and why I didn't want to do too many challenges, because they make me read things that I don't want to read, that I wouldn't normally pick up. Like, it's just ticking boxes. So one of my goals for this year was to like read more intentionally, read things that I actually want to read, not read just to say I did it. It's just a waste of time. I still do want to do the challenge. I just want to make sure that I'm reading things I actually want to read. So if one of the prompts for the month or whatever doesn't suit me, I'm just not going to do it. I don't have to do anything. But having said that, I am enjoying the challenge. I think it's really interesting. I love everything that they've done. It looks so nice. And I've started working on a journal for the challenge. And then Caress by Eyes I read for the challenge as well, and I really enjoyed it. I've actually had that book, that ebook, on my Kindle for like as long as I have the Kindle. It was one of the first books that I got. I have this 14 years, and that book came out in, I think, in 2007. So I have it a long time waiting to be read, so I'm glad I finally read it. And I did enjoy it. It wouldn't be a favorite book or anything like that. I think I probably gave it like 3.5 stars. OG paranormal romance, those kind of vibes. And I actually think that I've only read one dark romance, which was Tourist Season, which I would find to be quite comedic, like a dark comedy kind of a thing. I don't know if she was intending to be funny, but I found it humorous. It's been a long time since I read a paranormal romance, like one of the from the 2000s or the 2010s, the older paranormal romances. It's been a long time. I've forgotten how dark they are. This was quite dark. The thing that holds it back is the writing is kind of strange. The way she breaks up the scenes is quite strange. Like there's chapters all of a sudden, like they stop and start like in the middle of a scene or in the middle of a conversation. It kind of reminds me of the way they break scenes in a soap opera. Like someone will say something dramatic and then it like cuts away, and you come back after an ad or whatever to the continuation of the conversation. They're done kind of like that. It's just kind of jarring to read, and also the point of view changes suddenly. Like we're going with one character and then the next paragraph we've switched to someone else, and it could be someone like off in another place altogether, and it kind of took me a while to figure out who was speaking. Other than that, it was enjoyable. It was her series, it's called Changeling, and it follows a futuristic world where there's different types of shapeshifters, and they're called they're like psychics. With shapeshifter things, like I'm fine with werewolves, but when it goes into other animals, I think it just feels weird for some reason. Like this book has hyenas, and I think there was deers. I don't know, it's just weird. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm fine with werewolves and not fine with like were-tigers. Now, I'm still listening to the audiobook of Project Hail Mary. I only have an hour and a half left. I'm really enjoying it. I just love the main character. He's so interesting. He's kind of got a bit of an underdog thing going on, even though he is a very capable scientist. He has this everyman quality to him, which makes it enjoyable to follow along with him and discover the things that he discovers. And he is funny as well at times. He's an endearing character. So I'm almost finished that. I'll probably finish that today. I'm not sure if I feel like listening to an audiobook this evening, but I might finish it today. And I am reading a short story on my Kindle from Tessa Bailey. It's same time next year. I didn't look into if it would fit a prompt on Romanceopoly U, but it probably would, because it's a contemporary romance. It's a short story, contemporary romance. I haven't read Tessa Bailey in a really long time. I forgot how like dirty her books are. It surprised me a little bit while I was reading it, because I just forgot that they're like that. I had her slated in my head as like an Emily Henry style or Ali Hazelwood style. And then I started this book, Lost Lambs by Madeline Cash. And I just love this. I bought this on Saturday morning, I think. I just got it recently and I started it straight away, and I am about halfway, almost halfway, so close. I think this is brilliant. I really like her writing. I saw some people online saying that they're getting Pushing Daisies vibes off it, but I haven't seen that show, so I can't speak to that. But when I first started it, it's very humorous, kind of a heightened reality kind of vibe to it. It was giving me kind of a Wes Anderson kind of feel or a Coen Brothers kind of feel. This heightened reality, humorous situations that people are just going along with. But then as well, as I went on further, it does get like a bit darker. It's funny, but it is a bit dark as well. As I went on and I was reading through it, I realized that the way the dialogue is delivered, you could kind of pick it up in a few different ways. And I think this book is a great example of, you know, that saying, no two people read the same book. I think that would apply strongly to this book. I am so enjoying reading this and I can't wait to read more. I might just read this book for the evening instead of doing more Project Hail Mary.
I absolutely love mornings like these.
Okay, we are at the end of February now and I have finished Project Hail Mary. It took me so long to listen to it because I don't automatically think of listening to an audiobook. So I finished it, really enjoyed it. There was a few times that I got a bit annoyed because things just kept going wrong, which is just the way in a science fiction, in most science fiction films and stories, things just keep going wrong. So I did get a little, not annoyed, it just got tiresome to read it happening over and over again. But it's just the way these stories are usually told. So in the end, I quite enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way the story was told. Like we have two different timelines going on throughout it. Like he doesn't have any memories at the beginning. Hope that's not a spoiler. It's literally the very start of the book. And they come back in bits and pieces, so we kind of figure things out along with him. I think it really makes a difference to the story. Finding out things that way with him brings more feeling or energy or something to the ending. And I really liked the ending. I think if the book hadn't ended that way, I wouldn't have enjoyed the entire thing as much. If you've seen the trailer for the film, then you know what is one of the things anyway that is going to happen in this book. That I know some people were with the book, they didn't want to tell this thing, but if you've seen the trailer for the film, then you know what it is. I think it's lovely. The book just goes from all this crisis situations and this really big thing happening, and then it just kind of softens. We get this lovely connection and relationship, this friendship, and that leads us to the end of the main character. I'm forgetting his name already. Is it Grayson? That he just becomes this new person that is so likable. I liked him the whole way through the book. He's kind of got this underdog, everyman kind of vibe. Then the other book I was reading was this one, Lost Lambs by Madeline Cash. This was excellent. I absolutely loved this. I finished it, I think yesterday, only just finished it, and it gave me kind of Coen Brothers vibes. On page bound, I saw some people comparing it to Pushing Daisies, which I haven't read, or I haven't seen rather, so I don't know if it's like that. And I saw someone else saying it gave them Bob's Burgers vibes, which I've only seen clips of, but I can see how you would make that connection with this book. We're following a family in this, a husband and wife and their 3 daughters who are aged 17 to 12. This is about it's not about, they are Catholic and they go to a Catholic school and their church, being part of the community and all that sort of stuff. So it does involve Catholicism, but it's not like about religion. It is about the family. They just happen to be Catholic in a Catholic community. Really interesting for me to read because I am Catholic in a Catholic community, a very Catholic country. So it was interesting for me to read that. Obviously this is set in America, so it's different, but just the mentality of it, I guess, was familiar to me, but also a bit different. I just found that an interesting thing to read. It's quite humorous, but there's also this darkness, which is what made me think of the Coen brothers style of films like Fargo. It doesn't have anything to do with the law or anything like that. Not farcical, but this unusual reality, heightened reality, real humorous, and then this layer of darkness beneath it all. So I love how it was written as well. There's this joke that kind of runs through it for part of the book. So she like uses the actual writing as part of the story to bring another element to it, which I really liked. And if you listen to the audiobook, you won't get that. It's part of the actual writing. And I saw on Pagebound there are several people who commented anyway on Pagebound found this annoying, but I really liked it. It's this extra element to storytelling to bring part of the book to you, like part of the story to you. So I liked it. I thought it was a nice touch, and it really shows how books and writing, they are an art form, not just storytelling. So there is like a craft to it, that the writing is actually a craft. So thoroughly enjoyed this, would highly recommend. And I think that's all the reading I've done. Let me just check my thing. Yeah, that is all my reading for February. I really enjoyed my reading. For a short month, I think I read a good bit for me anyway. I think I read a good bit. So I'm very excited to start reading for the Irish Readathon now. I started Hagstone by Sinead Gleeson on audiobook last night. I'm an hour into it and I really like it so far. I kind of started Runtime by Catherine Ryan Howard. I read probably like 10 pages. I did not read far into it at all. Reading that on my Kindle because I have jury duty at the start of next month, so I wanted something light and simple to carry with me while I'm waiting to see if I get put onto a jury. So that's it from me for February. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one.